don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and after a short rest after the quarterfinals this morning, we're back. Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Men's Major, presented by Curling Stadium Beaumont. I'm Shawn Joyce, joined by Jimmy Nix for the semifinal action this afternoon. And if you were with me this morning, and watching Jim, you missed an outstanding quarterfinal. We're hoping to get some of that same type of action here in the semifinal, and again later on this afternoon in the final. Just underway here in the first end of play. We've got Dustin Kalthoff, Yusuke Morozumi. Here Cailey by the seeding. Morozumi team was an A event qualifier, so they have last rock here in the opening end of play, throwing the Yellowstones. Just as we were coming to air, you saw the center guard was thrown first with no tick zone violation. Guard was put back, Yellowstone. You see in the back corner, that's how it ended up there. Come around, stays just out in the open, back four, and now the lead, Misaki Iwa. He can come down, get the goal inside, it's good. Right on the nose, and just like that, we're underway.
Yeah, I saw the end of the game you did this morning. It was quite a finish for sure. I haven't seen this either one of these. I personally haven't seen either one of these two teams play this weekend, so I'm interested to see what it looks like.
Yeah, Kalthoff's opening game, they'd probably just like to forget that one. And this is my first look at Morozumi this year. I did see him a few times last year. Now, the Kalthoff team has been shorthanded the entire weekend, as far as I know. Josh Height, normally the third on the team, and new to the team this year. I assume busy with harvest.
You see that quite a bit now in a lot of the sports. If somebody can't make it, they don't qualify somebody to play. Game of three, I guess. There's usually half the time only using one sweeper anyways, but still, it's just one of the same one every time. It's going to get a little tough sometimes.
Yeah. It could be tougher yet earlier in the season too. Is needed a sub, a guy that's not playing himself.
Yeah,
he hasn't been out throwing any stones yet. Come around, comes just behind the tee line. Sam Wills now to make the come around. Sam Wills is the second on the team. Matt Ring on the right on the screen there is the lead. These three members were all together last year. Josh Height new to the team this year. Not able to make it this weekend.
So a little bit more. You would have liked that to stop just at the top side of the 4 foot for sure.
Morozumi does have last rock here in the first end of the play. Probably doesn't want to. That's probably the only hesitation. If you didn't have last rock, you freeze the pocket right away. He's wondering if there's a way to get the play away from him. Play to hit and roll. That's what they're going to look at, I think.
I think that's a shot. It's pretty early. I don't know if Dustin will want to just leave this. If you stay out the 8 foot with this, I'm not sure he'll want to just leave it there. Or you will. play on here, certainly.
Risky to ignore stones when you don't have last rock, for sure. The second is Karuizawa. I apologize in advance for any names that I mispronounce. Might hit the catcher, he does. You knew you could have done it, and I called it. He's got as much separation now as he could, and that's the yellow out from behind that guard.
Yeah, if it was the plan, it was a good one.
Yeah. Well, you might wonder why would he want the yellow out from behind the guard once behind the tee line. If it was in front of the tee line, he'd have been happy to leave it behind cover. Now for Samuels to make the draw, this is an aggressive call.
It is, I was saying the same thing.
He's either behind the guard or he's in front of the back when he can't do both.
This is where this ice curling so much. You'll see a shot like this. Normally, if you're looking at this setup in a club game or something, you're thinking, well, we'll come down on the in-turn. Just never thinking about might over curl on the in-turn. It's a good shot.
Makes the adjustment here. Top corner behind cover. So this is in-turn for the lefty. Looking to make a play on the guard. I think they look briefly at trying the run. They're going to play quieter, just try to get rid of the guard, roll the shooter into the runs.
Lefty, and he's got a dress code violation too, so don't want to be here.
I'm thinking it might be an extra jacket. He's got the right pants.
Yeah. Get a piece of this?
I'll tell you after it goes by. Yep. it was just that close, but it's not enough of a piece to get rid of the red. Comes to the back and the stone stays.
Yeah, he curls up another inch or two there, and he's got exactly what he was looking for. But get there.
Tough sitting one.
Didn't see the call here.
I didn't either, but where he's got the broom, I'm thinking he's playing red onto yellow. That was the initial call. Now they're going to stick with it. So playing the red onto yellow. Now if he hits this right, he's looking to hit about half of the red stone. The shooter might come across and get that catcher in the back as well.
May well. He needs to throw it hard. Throw it a little bit out, so keep it up there anyways. This looks like it could work out.
Might be a little thin on that one. Well, he still catches the stone, but loses the shooter. It's Kalthoff sitting one, back of the 4-foot. Kalthoff stones in the back. Just kind of lets he can trip over.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought there should the ice at the back of the behind the house and should curve to the same sort of arc that the circles in, so that those rocks would get in the corner or kicked out of the way. They'll play anyway if they're out far enough.
Yeah, I think the one, if you jammed on it, you'd be in the rings. The farther one,
yeah, for
I
sure.
think is the other one. I think is too far. Yeah.
Yeah, those two are out there.
Third is Yuta Matsumura looking to make a hit, roll under cover. Once again, they're looking for curl early.
Get a little bit of a roll, maybe a little too much now.
So past the guard. Skip Stone's left to come here in his opening end of play.
Might not turned out that bad, because if he makes that perfect rolls right behind the guard, then you're forced Kalthoff to come down and sit right on it, which might be worse for you at the end anyways. To me, the last couple of draws I've been there at, it's teams have sort of counteracted the curl more with throwing it harder than they have with adjusting the ice. I don't think the curl is gone anywhere from it, but it just looks like that doesn't look like a whole lot of ice for a hit.
Certainly not coming from the outside in.
No.
There. Having history, he's played a lot of doubles, so quite used to jumping up sweeping his own stones as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny, well, not so much growing up in my earlier curling years, we'd be telling people when they did that, don't do that. Don't be jumping up and trying to run down and sweep your own rock. The game is exactly that.
Yeah. But even at that end, it's something they train with the teams that play that a lot. It's you still have to stay down long enough to make sure you complete your shot, your delivery, and then jump up. It's too easy to start jumping up before you really solidly let go of the rock, and that's the thing you have to be careful with. Yeah. Dustin's done it plenty. Yusuke Morozumi, his first stone now, behind cover, ready to be able to generate a deuce here.
About the back of the forefoot, it would be so
Don't necessarily understand Japanese, but I understand the pointing up hand signal. That's pretty much universal. It means it's got more weight than they intended.
Yeah, it's great for him.
The hit stays right there.
We're trying a little harder to make the roll now if you're Kalthoff. It's just
This is a force opportunity. You can get the roll behind cover now.
yeah.
Even if you just roll half, you're
I think that
risky.
would be dangerous. So it would be an interesting call, but Japanese.
Well, it's a red guard too, so if your foot was coming by to try to pick it out, you pick it up too. This is going to have to curl though. Not able to get any piece of that undercover though, so it will be an opportunity for Yusuke Morozumi to blank this opening end of play, try to get last rock into the second. Opportunities for Curling Stadium. Yeah. They need to be sending some to the announcers.
Yeah.
Morozumi makes the hit, pulls the shooter out of play. We've got a blank here in the opening end in this men's semifinal. Morozumi will continue to have last rock. We'll come back in a second.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Blank in the first. Second Matt Ring is starting us off once again. Dustin Kalthoff is called for the center guard. This Kalthoff team actually had to play Thursday night. They played the opening draw. Got through the A qualifier, lost the A qualifier, the B qualifier, and we're way back to the C. They qualified last night. It's interesting. Both of the C qualifiers are teams that lost A and B qualifiers and ended up coming back.
It's always tough to do when you're working your way through C. It's a lot of goals. It's an overabundance of games. So there's still a lot of games, and every game you can't afford to give up anything big. So.
Well, and it's a few down the other side of this. Morozumi came through the A event. I believe he had a bye in the first round. I'm going to check that. 18 teams. Not everybody plays in the first round.
I think all three A qualifiers only played 2 games in the first round.
Yeah, he only played 2 games in the first round, so this morning was his 3rd game. The other 2 A qualifiers both lost this morning. And, you know, you wonder how much of that comes from the fact that they haven't seen as many games yet. It's early in the season. They might like to have gotten a couple more anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, then, the Rocks are still curling plenty, but they changed a little bit. If you qualify out of the A, you haven't played a game since Friday night, and you got to go play that quarterfinal Sunday morning. There's been 5 more draws since then. The Rocks started this right now. There's a lot of things that go into this. All kinds of things for these players to think about.
Pretty heavy, that one. Just glancing over to the score from the other game. We have 2 semifinal games going on right at the moment, and the other one gets started a little bit before us, so they actually are a little ahead on the score sheet. And Trevor Bono picked up 2 in the first end, and he's 6-10 toss sack. So he leads 2-0 after 1 in the other game. Stadium as well. Who are you cheering for? So deep again.
He might get the curl. If he gets right to the face of his own, that's probably not so bad, but left either a pocket or a double, really. Whichever he likes. Shot stone is just maybe a sliver under the guard. Guard as high as it is, the amount of curl there is a bit in this ice. It shouldn't really be a factor. It's just not a shot rack.
It looks like he is with that ice. It looks like he's going. He's going to hit and maybe fall on top.
Yeah, I think that was the call. They talked about just blasting the double, but I think you'd have to lose your shooter to do that.
Yeah, we'll have to be pretty close to that for sure. You get a bye?
We're trying to hold it enough so that he stays for shot. Might go a little too far for that. might stay a corner in front of the Yellowstone.
Yeah, I just would like to stay a corner on the other side.
Yeah, well, it's still got a way to get that Yellowstone out for now. Semi-final here again. Swooping from the offside, looking for extra.
Yeah, I agree with you. It certainly seems to have taken a little bit of curl out as we move along, because those are rocks that you would try to make it curl.
And they're still curling, plenty. But when you've been watching it curl a little bit harder all weekend long, it's just a little bit of adjustment these teams may have to make here. They're starting to straighten up. I guess this is the 10th draw of the weekend. They're conditioned before they start. Starting to straighten up just a little bit.
Playing the run back here. It's close.
Got one, catches the second. Dustin Kalthoff ready with the brush, gets the yellow all the way into the ring. And now it's Kalthoff sitting two behind his own long guard.
That was an excellent shot. And to hit it so good that you don't even go out into the open almost at all. It was that much better.
Now they have to take it a little bit. It's a similar shot, but now he needs to move that top stone.
Curl, I think.
Got to make sure they're by the guard. They're by. Taps one, touches the second one. Kalthoff's still sitting two, but that's a really good result. It's a lot more real estate to work with, nothing left in the forefoot.
Yeah, it's one of those you look at and say, well, it would have been nice to get something out, but in reality, the setup there's not bad at all here. The Japanese team.
One behind the T-line, and the other one, he moved far enough out that he can actually get to the inside of it from the other side now.
Very good. It's a nice controlled shot there, just the right weight and a little bit of sweep here and there on the way down, and it's all good.
Outside in hits, they weren't getting curl in the first end. This is close. Still not quite as much finish. Not a lot of weight either. He got to the inside of it, but not enough to roll completely undercover. Still a couple of red rocks back there to jam.
I got third.
Hard to get dead to the nose.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could pick it.
What do you like, Jim?
Well, I still like the idea of coming down in the intern and soft weight and move that straight back. I think you can get to there.
All weekend long you have been able to, but it looks a little tougher today.
Yeah.
So you could probably get to it from the out turn too. I wouldn't be able to get it out a little bit to at least sit through.
Yeah.
I have to think that's probably the dilemma that they're having right now. It looks like it's there. It's been there all weekend. But so far this afternoon, it's hard to be sure.
Yeah, I would agree. The guard is obviously looking at the overhead shot. Is obviously out there quite a ways, but you do have to get to the nose to make it on the intern side. So.
Yeah, well, and hitting it wrong from the intern side is dangerous because you put it on a shot rock at the back. You play the out-turn shot from the port. You're never tapping it into a shot rock position. That's what they've ended up deciding to do anyway. Now, the scary part here is you tap the yellow and then roll over. You hate to leave a triple. And that is possible. There's decent distance between them. Corner freeze rate on that hill is pretty good too.
It's going to be close.
Makes the tap. Moves it for fourth. I think where he rolled triple opportunity. Maybe he'll make the port and play the double on the 2 and 4 foot. I'd like to make a play on that and still make the top of the 8 because you play that double and that's what you see. Morozumi indicating it's probably jamming on that yellow at the back.
Yeah, that's a yeah, you're probably right. You can probably make it so it rolls off the yellow, but you're going to lose the yellow for sure. I think you can, hit it 3/4 and just kind of roll off the yellow and out. Get rid of both, but that's
the port's there definitely to make the double, or at least make contact with the second one. You might not be throwing it that hard. It's just, it's a skinny port. It looks tough from the hacks.
Yeah.
Looks like he's playing the port, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Setup for the lefty with his intern.
Yeah.
He starts at 12 o'clock and then cocks it as he's sliding out. He did very well though.
Yeah, very good shot.
Morozumi sits shot and third.
Just making sure that he knows that that's correct before you throw it. It's never a good thing when you do that and you look at it after and say, shoot.
If he had a headset on, he would have had the glove. I just told him.
Yeah.
He might not have believed me. It doesn't change the problem. It's tough to get to the inside of that Yellowstone. You can see about half of it. If you could get to the inside of it, behind cover, that's great. He actually didn't even touch the yellow on the way by. The problem is if he hits it on the outside, he doesn't have a lot of room. He's not shot rocket. So he can just make a play on the top and sit two.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like if you went at this with the outturn the last time, it's really hasn't changed much. It's still the outturn. Unless you just get rid of them, totally just completely get rid of it. Say, well, I'll see. I hopefully can make a double of some kind on the next shot, but. Just got to be careful here. You can play yourself into a possible 3 here pretty easily. Looks like he's going in turn this time. And it looks like he's going to take over.
Yeah, he's definitely playing enough to kill it. There's the indication from Sam. Not just roll and hang on the corner, but I think it's important. You got to stay for at least second shot.
Yeah. that's going to be real easy to do with that what I think of the ice and weight combination. So you can't go very far.
No, it does seem like it's maybe just a touch straighter here this afternoon. So even with this tight ice, like normally I think for most of the week, and all more games here this week, I think than I have, Jim, but it's been about a foot of ice to throw bumper weight, and I'm wondering if he's not thinking this is the ice now for bumper weight with what we're seeing today.
Yeah. Just look it up a little bit, another inch or so from where you start.
And then you might see him sweep from the offside for some extra curl. He didn't. Probably a little strong for bumper if that's what the weight call was. He hits, rolls the shooter out of play.
Yeah. Well, I think it was definitely a little strong for that shot if you're saving the shooter. It just, no matter what the weight call was, I think that you had to throw something that had a better chance of staying, and that was just a little bit heavy.
Well, now I think the decision for Morozumi is, I'm assuming he's playing the hit, but do you roll or do you stay right there?
Yeah, if you stay right there, I think he's going to play the back and try to roll the high. So there's too many rocks back there for him to jam on.
Okay. Well, and if that's the case, then yeah, you probably want to stay right there because he goes behind. And if you get it, you roll way out here first. Still Dustin's playing the yellow and trying to roll behind. Then your shooter might be in the way of being able to make any kind of play on it too.
Yeah. I think if you're more Semi here, I think if you could hit this and go to the right-hand side as we look at it, would be not a bad spot either.
Yeah, maybe depending how far you go. If you leave, like Dustin can't really play the slash double. Exactly like you said, there's too many rocks back there to jam on. But if you roll over and give him room to play the in-off double, you could try that. Risk, a little less risk when he's a shooter. Gonna have to go for line to hold this on the nose. By the Brushers, but didn't hold the split center line. If he made the hit roll off the back one now, the outturn port would be pretty tiny. He's looking at the slash. It's risky. There's a lot of rocks back there to jam on.
Yeah, that would be my thinking. Is just we just know we can't take a chance and give it a 3 here. I think so, and I think that if you play that back one, just roll inside a little bit, you can get, there's a lot of spots there that would make it a tough shot for the Japanese team.
I don't think they're listening to you. No. This is the only thing they've looked at so far. Like, great shot if you make it. It's just the risk. If you just miss the Yellowstone at the back of the 8-foot, it's jamming pretty solid in that red for 12. You know, getting that yellow out of the back is no gimme either if you're going to try to hold the shooter.
Yeah, I know. That's the other part.
And maybe that's part of the discussion here too. Is he drawing?
I don't know. I don't think
I'm looking where he's got the broom and I'm thinking that's a draw.
play one of these interns instead of the outturns, the other shot this was going.
Morozumi's not going to try the run back on the yellow that he just threw for three. Have to almost come right to the back. He would well overbury the long guard.
what he was looking for.
Really nice line coming in. Needs to be deep. Has to stop in time to be shot.
He's number 2 himself.
If he's number 2, you play the split on the top one.
Yeah.
I think they just saw a tap on the broom, saying that the red is shot. Which, you know, if that's the case, that's as well as he could have done with that stone. Created as much room between the red stone at the back.
Well, yeah, it certainly would appear that you're right. I mean, I don't see the point. I mean, I think the split's easier than making this if you're already sitting one.
This Joyce is really, or this run back now, 8 feet of space in between those two stones. The run back's not going to give me either by any means.
No, for sure.
A shot like this, you're probably throwing it like a heavy draw, and you let the sweepers try to. If they move at an inch, it's good for 2.
Yeah.
If the guard wasn't, if the Yellowstone on that red wasn't there, that redstone is completely out in the open from the long guard. So this is, it's not going to look good visually from the hacks. It's there. But you can't overthrow this. You can't throw this thinking we're going to have to move it. You have to throw it like a draw and then sweep it down. And you're going to have to flirt with the guard a little bit.
I think you're right.
Yusuke Morozumi with his final stone here. Second hand, he's got last rock. Looking to tap back the shot stone. At least what we think is the shot stone. Needs to move it just an inch for 2. Starting to move now. He's going to touch it. Enough that Morozumi will pick up the single. Dustin Kalthoff fist bump with Sam Wells. Maybe a bit of a sigh of relief, too. That could have been 3. It ends up just being 1. Morozumi with the lead. Kalthoff will have last rock in the second.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
He could. As difficult as he could for Yusuke. He was able to get the single, but no more than that.
Yeah, I think that was a big save for sure.
Well, if you're going to play that draw, that's, if you're tapping the ice, that's exactly where you tap it. We need as far behind that rock as we can get it without sliding too far to the second 2-shot rock, and that's exactly where you put it. Not a lot of room for error there. Or maybe did a good run. Just a little bit extra weight that he needed to move it. Didn't get the curl. It's just a single point.
Sweeper, whichever sweeper he was using there was Did a good job of getting that to move as far as it did. I didn't think at the hog line that he could get it over far enough to make contact. He didn't make a lot of contact, but he made some to at least score. Obviously, the first guard attack for sweeping.
And you call down the skip and say, how heavy is it? The rusher says, watch your feet. That's usually a bad sign.
He's going to get this one by that high one or not. He did. I think he did anyway. Sure.
I don't think it made contact.
No.
Track when you got one team throwing 3 rocks apiece.
Yeah.
Rotaro Shikaya looking to come down, sit on the corner of that stone if he could.
This looks pretty good. Maybe over curling a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to cross it a little bit, enough that the red will still be shot rock. Does stay a corner in front of it. That's important. He's still got the little slash. Matt Ring will try to follow it down, sit on the corner. This is another one of those shots similar to what we saw last in, where if he could, if the line was perfect, you wouldn't mind moving that yellow a couple of inches just to take away the easy slash.
Yeah. Obviously still lots of curl in this particular path too. He's out there pretty good with about 5 feet of ice.
Going to be a little short of the rings. Does protect shot rock, but the little angle is there on the Yellowstone that was thrown last.
Yeah.
Was that the look? I think the call there, or what he was suggesting, was just nose hit the yellow, get rid of the red, but even then the yellow stays in the open. So they're going to go back to that freeze through the port again. Has to take just a sliver more ice now to get by the stone that was just thrown. It's a skinny port, but it's lined up in such a way that if you make the port, you're probably right on the red one.
Yeah, that's right.
Been back and forth on the brushers. Made the port. And is right on the corner of that red stone. Does it leave the double on the yellows, though?
Yeah, it was a good throw. And ideally, if he's just a hair lighter, he'd be better off, but still a pretty good throw.
If you hit the first one thin enough, I don't think it even touches the red behind it either.
No.
Straight into the side of the one that was just thrown, and they'll both clear the red stone. If you're thick on the Yellowstone, it might take all 3 of them.
Since given a lot of thought. I don't know what that means. Probably.
Well, the only thing I could see is the other shot that might be just as good if you could get to the inside of the Yellowstone, hit and roll, take out the back red one, forget about the second yellow one, get rid of the backing.
Yeah.
Roll over in front of it. That works okay too. Doubles the yellow, rolls the shooter out of play. It's just the one stone in the ring now. That stone at the back of the 8-foot, belonging to Dustin Kalthoff. Shot rock behind a couple of guards. Yota Matsumura looking to come through on the out turn for the lefty.
These guys are all making the shot look a lot easier than it looks like to me.
The rock doesn't know whether it's left-handed or right-handed throwing it, and makes the same port, sits right on the corner of that red, actually pokes it a little bit, so he's got access to the red stone on the outside now. I'm not sure what Dustin Kalthoff has left. He can get to it with that same kind of weight through the port. This would be in turn for the right-handers, but he's just going to put it onto the red stone behind it. Might still be worth playing just to give himself a little bit more room, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just, you just got to not overthrow it. You know, you want to just bump it a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, that hole's bigger than it looks.
Yeah.
They've got 3 rocks in a row through there now.
Yeah. I know they're making it look like they're using the old little rocks or something. They're only about 2/3 wide. Same shot again.
Yeah, he's got to stay a little bit on the corner this time to get it by the yellow. That might leave a double through the port. I don't know what else he's got. Maybe looking for a thinner piece if they could. They got to get it by the yellow and then maybe roll the shooter behind cover on the other side.
That's a pretty
just
shot.
Like that.
Yeah, sitting 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the only way he could make it, right? You know, like if he taps it any thicker, he stays in the port, and it's probably a full weight hit double.
Yeah.
Throws it quieter and gets to the nose. He jams it on the back one, and it would still be shot rock.
You think he'll play the run back here?
I think so.
Run double, maybe run triple, depending on...
Yeah, you could get all 3 yellows here.
Yeah.
Oh, Dustin was just walking around the house. Feels like he might have made contact with that Yellowstone. I'll let the opposition know. I didn't see it move myself. Part of the consideration here, I think, because he talked about the draw as well, playing the draw one more time. Part of the consideration here has to be the fact that, remember, we've got last rock here. It'd be nice to make sure we got room to score.
Yeah, I don't...
But if you make the triple, you're still alive for 2, I think.
I agree.
I'm not sure what you get if you make that port. Oh, Dustin's looking at hitting the just straight peel, come to the side of the other guard, maybe carry into the rings that way. It's not a terrible call. forces them to replace the guard. There's a double available in the rings if you don't replace the guard.
Yeah.
That might have been the plan B too. He might be looking at, let's try to make the run. If it over curls, well, he's not looking at over curl because he's looking at the out turn. Although Sam does have a bit of a set on his out turn when he throws the extra weight, and you can see he's got negative ice on this. Don't know if he got the set on that one. It's not the side he wanted to hit it on. He's going to drive it towards the red at the back.
Yeah, I don't completely understand exactly where he was trying to hit that.
My guess, and it's just based on the fact that I know these guys as well as any of the teams here, because they're a Saskatchewan-based team, I've seen them a lot, is that usually when Sam throws that up weight, on the out turn in particular, he's got a bit of a set, and really it didn't look like he did on that one. He let that one go pretty clean, and they might have iced it for the set and then didn't get it.
Still, he was still trying to hit that a little bit on the right-hand side.
On the other side, yeah.
That's actually the only thing I saw. I didn't really see another option on the...
No, there was no good option on the side they hit it on, yeah. Having said that, there weren't many that were quite as bad as what it did. To pick that red out without killing the yellow back there, that's a little unlucky.
Yeah.
If you make them all go away, you've probably still got a shot at the blank. That's probably out the window now. Morozumi looking for the straight guard now on Shot Rock. And those haven't been easy all week.
No, I think this is the hardest shot in the book this weekend, trying to throw a guard.
Well, it's because they move so much at the end, and you'll think it's going into place, and then it just doesn't stop, and before you know it, it's over curled by 6 inches.
Yeah.
Stopped just in time. It's probably a little closer than they would have liked. Triples there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it, a couple feet shorter would have been better. No opportunity to roll it in the rings, and the double would be just a little bit tougher, double or triple, whichever.
So he could hit it right on the nose and get the double of the two on the center line. That still leaves his shooter in a spot where he probably doesn't want it. If he's across the face a little bit, if he catches two of them, it's pretty hard to miss the third one. I mean, he might jam it back there, but it's pretty hard to miss it altogether. He'd love to get the guard and the one off the top of the button at least, and roll off the center line. If he can do those, if he can get those two, he should have room to score a single at least.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's if you can do that and roll into the rings a little bit, Japan team might Japanese
close.
Team might decide
1, 2, 3.
Wow, and
got a spin at the end. I don't know if that's in or not.
Either way, pretty darn good shot.
He should have room to score a single at least.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's if you
I think they must have decided if it's not on, it's too close to leave it. I can't imagine they're playing the draw from out there. So this is the hit and try to roll under cover. And if he noses this, there's a rock at the back he could jam it on too.
There's a rock back there. They got to be. thinking about.
Just enough to roll it out of the rings.
Yeah.
And from facing 3 to throw through for the blank.
Yeah, can't say I actually saw this being a blank. A couple of shots.
Well, Dustin Kalthoff already in this game has made a couple of what we'd have to call game savers. He made the outstanding draw to the back of the 8-foot last end, had to stay for shot, had to get some separation. It held Morozumi to 1 last end when it could have been 3.
That's right.
Gets the triple with his first one here. It's a throw through for the blank. Semi-final here from the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Men's Major. Dustin Kalthoff trails Yusuke Morozumi by a score of 1-0 after 3 ends of play. Kalthoff will have last rock in the 4th.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Well, a lot of great shots here already through 3 ends and only 1 point on the board. It's got nothing to do with a lack of action. Dustin Kalthoff with last rock again as we begin here in the 4th. The center guard not quite biting the line, and it looks like they're going to actually play the tick. Just because of the rule, when you can't play it when it's on the center line, they don't get as many opportunities for that now. It's not as practiced. I think this is the first time I've seen this played this year. Now, not only is it a tick shot, they got to keep in mind that it's in the free guard zone and just hangs on at the back of the playing surface. It's out of the rings, still biting the back line, so it's in play. That is a legal shot. And now the stone that the shooter, I think, is in the no tick zone.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Japanese skip at the back there, I don't know that he really thought hard enough on that. He wasn't going that hard on that rock, and actually Dustin got it back that far and then realized I don't want to actually have it go out. So it was kind of interesting how that little bit of sweep action at the back of the house happened there.
Gave up on it a little too soon.
Yeah. In our other semifinal now, 6-10 Totsack leads 4-3 over Trevor Beaumont after 4 ends of play. A couple of deuces in the 2nd and the 4th for 6-10, and a 2 and a 1 in the 1st and 3rd for Beaumont.
Come around, comes to the back 4-foot and is still mostly open. I think the call was to make the hit and roll away from it. Got tight by the guard, so they look for the roll underneath. It pretty much stays right there. Maybe gets a sliver more undercover.
Japanese team looking like probably something around hack weight for the shot.
Yeah, I saw him hit the bottom of his foot with the broom. Some things don't need a language. Usually anything on the foot is hack weight.
Yeah.
Good job by the brushers trying to make that curl. Gets it back to the nose. Not able to get under cover at all, though. Now we've crept up to the point where anybody who gets the hit roll behind cover is in front of the tee line now.
Need just a little less weight than Morozumi's team played that one. That's nice weight.
Again, just get to the nose, though. Shikoya will have the chance to get to the inside once again. First team that gets this inside roll is going to be in a powerful position in this end. Well, unless they exchange hits 4 more times, and then the run back is going to be pretty short.
Yeah. It's a little tougher too as that rock moves ahead, because it's just there's less room for the rock to curl past the guard.
And they're not flirting with the guard at all. In fact, this one's in danger of jamming onto that Yellowstone that's just hanging in back there. It does. Still manages to get it out of the 12-foot, though.
Yeah, fortunate. That might not have ended up coming into play at some point, but it may well have too. It would have been a good second counter for the Kalthoff team if they chose to remove the yellow.
Changes the position of this stone, and now Dustin Kalthoff looking at straight draw, I think.
Yeah, he's playing the draw. I have a little trouble following the strategy. He's just jumping around a little bit, but nothing big with him. And his team seems to be buying in on it all, so that's good.
It's the even end, and it is his own guard he's coming around. I think probably part of what factored into this one is with that rock rolling over like that. To roll back behind the cover now, well, you would have ended up behind the tee line, but he did that with the draw anyway.
Yeah. Just a couple feet heavy on that one. If he's 3 or 4 feet less, he's in good shape.
Yeah, really, the main reason to play the draw there over the hit and roll is to stay in front of the tee line, and didn't do that.
That's right. Yeah.
Looking to follow that stone down, sit right on the corner if they could. He's got a nice looking one here. Sits on the inside corner of that stone. He's got a piece of the button.
Yeah, really good shot.
Kalthoff looking at the hit on the stone at the edge of the 8-foot. Is very flat. He's going to have to throw some weight here, try to come across. I don't know if he can kill the second stone, but if he could move it, well, even 6 to 8 inches just to get it off that corner of the red stone.
Yeah, I think that would be. Nose hit, I think.
Maybe a little outside the nose. That's that little set that I was talking about that he didn't get last time. I think you have to be careful hitting that stone. You'll actually leave better angle for the double. I'm not sure you want to nose hit this.
No, I don't know that they're convinced either.
I don't mind rolling right over to the back of the forefoot. If you roll right beside the other red, it becomes even tougher to get rid of that yellow stone.
Pretty close to the nose here, too.
Yeah, that left a pretty good angle for the double if he wants to play it. I'm surprised he's not looking at it. It's probably a better angle to make it now than it was on the last attempt.
Oh, last shot, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last shot you had to have that rocket weight that he threw, but you had to hit it almost 3/4 or better to jump it over there and move anything. But
what he might be thinking is if you can come down with the in-turn, come to the face of the yellow, just break the existing freeze that's there, that double will still be there later, and it could be for as many as 3.
Yeah, just create a little space.
Looking at the run now also, I don't see anything good with that. That arm on the shoulder is usually an indication of some weight. I think he's trying to pick the yellow clean, maybe?
Maybe. That's a pretty tough shot. But he did it, more or less.
Yeah, he's well, you know, he opened up a little bit more room. He's going to have more room to score now, but I'm it's looking like a force now.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like a force, but I do also agree. I think he given himself a little bit more room to work.
Morozumi will have to look to play to roll away from the guard. He doesn't want to roll under now, or Dustin will play the freeze.
That's right.
Dustin will get one chance to play the come around if he can bury one. Basically, where Morozumi's looking at coming himself, he could still have a chance for 2 here.
He sort of tapped and rolled behind the guard. I'm like you. I don't think that makes any sense really to try to roll that way.
Yeah.
You just hit it on the nose or even a little bit on the outside. Just stay there, and Dustin will have to make a decision whether or not he wants to ignore all that and go around, which he may well do.
If you stay in the rings, he's coming around, and that's why I'm thinking you probably want to roll away a little bit here. If he's halfway around, you don't want to leave it back there in a spot where you'd have to risk jamming it.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's why I don't. You think ahead a little bit. I think it doesn't make sense to roll behind.
If you roll to behind the guard, you give Dustin too many choices. He could bury one top of the forefoot. He's still going to have his chance for 2. Now your rock at the back of the 8 doesn't help you. If he comes back to the stone at the back of the 8, you follow it down. He's still going to have that double off the side one for 2.
That's right.
Don't think it mattered where he was rolling. Dustin was playing this draw.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sheer guard. This is your chance for 2. Get around to the top of the 4-foot behind cover. Leaving that yellow where it is, the problem now is if Dustin left you a quarter of the rock, you'd have to risk jamming it. So that rock's not helping you back there. It can only help Dustin. Now, if Dustin doesn't make the draw, you have a chance to sit 3, then you'll be happy that it's biting the 4-foot, but have to figure his weight's going to be close here, but we have seen so far this afternoon these rocks a little bit straighter than they have been through much of the weekend. Waiting for it to curl. It's moving now. Dustin had come down to join the brush, trying to help it. Comes down and sits on the corner of that Yellowstone. Actually, if anything came out into the open, there's probably room for Morozumi to get to it.
I think there is, yeah.
Hard to jam it coming at it from the intern side too. You either, if you ever got to the nose, which would be great, you might lose the yellow, but the red's still going. You'd love to get to the nose if you could. Then you're biting the corner of the button.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get rid of it. And you make sure it's 2 at the end of the day and move on to the next one. But I think Dustin and the boys, I think that, they didn't do a lot at the end of that, but they probably didn't need to go back quite that far. You know, they let that rock stop 12 inches shorter than that.
You didn't need to have it curl that much.
Yeah, so it would curl a little bit less and just be that tiny little bit higher. So there's no other what happens is not drawing.
You leave it higher and leave that much sticking out on the other side, it's hard for him to make a play on it because he could jam it. This over curled and too deep.
I'm sure they were thinking they just wanted to make sure that they got it to the back one, but I don't think you had to necessarily get right to the back one.
He's not throwing a ton of weight at this with that much ice. Could hit about 3/4, pass it by the yellow, maybe sit 3. If he gets to the nose, he's got to have enough weight to get the red out off the yellow. They're on the brush right away. Looked like he got that started. I don't think this is getting by.
No.
And he's probably putting it into the ring somewhere.
He's going to get away with it, but yeah, that was probably the worst throw that we've seen him throw today. It wasn't
probably not enough weight either. Like you look at where he tapped that stone to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting the red out if he hits it.
Yeah, he just over finished that one, I think. Overthought it, over finessed it, whatever you want to call it. Because even the straight pick there wouldn't have been a bad shot for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
It gets the force. As it is, Dustin Kalthoff needs to throw the same draw he just threw. Needs any bite of the 4-foot. We'll give him 2 points. He'll take the lead here after 4 ends of play.
Pretty good with draw weight. I think this will be no problem. I think, although
he got up awful quick to help the sweep, and they have not left it yet. Sam Wells coming out to join them.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Very good.
Put 2 points on the board for Dustin Kalthoff. He takes a 2-1 lead over Yusuke Morozumi after 4 ends of play. Morozumi will have last rock in the 5th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Fourth end break here in Beaumont. Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Men's Major semifinal action. Dustin Kalthoff with a 2-1 lead after 4 ends of play. Morozumi with last rock when we come back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Two teams just returning to the ice now after the fourth end break. Shawn, Joyce, Jim Nix with you here live. Curling Stadium Beaumont with the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Major semifinals. Dustin Kalthoff has made a couple of game savers early in the game and now picks up his deuce. Nice draw on his first. Duplicated it with his second. He's got the lead for the first time in the game. Morozumi will have last rock as we begin play here in the fifth end. Dustin making his way down. I don't know whether Matt's going to have a sweeper for this rock or not. Doesn't look like Sam Wills is in a hurry to finish that banana. And this, from all indications so far, has been one of the toughest shots of the weekend. Have the center guard split the center line. I will say if the Kalthoff coach was watching, he'd be happy to see that Sam was eating a banana instead of a piece of pizza between ends. That's got to make the coach happy.
Yeah.
And they get the center guard up, splitting the line. Morozumi calling for the corner guard. guard up. Now the call for the come around on the center. Nothing out of the brush so far. It's a long ways out there.
Pretty heavy.
Looks a little strong. All the way through the back. I don't want to make excuses for Matt. Having said that, I'm gonna. With them throwing 3 rocks, you know, you'll hear a lot of players talk about it. It can be an advantage to get to throw 3. Well, let's throw a little monkey wrench into that. What if one of those stones isn't matched? And he hasn't figured it out yet, because that's not the first one that he's thrown through. In fact, I think it was at last end or maybe the end before, he threw one through, then trying a come around in his next shot, he ends up short of the rings. Like, that's uncharacteristic to see 2 shots in a row and the weight off that far. And he'll be throwing probably 1, 2, and 3, presumably, but 3 would normally be a second stone.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. The other side of it, I guess, is you figure you're going to throw 3. It just gives you a little bit more time to figure it out. But at the same time, it's pretty odd to see that. That's and they were also both were quite heavy. They weren't.
Yeah, well, they're all the way through the rings and out of play.
Yeah.
And in that particular case, in a spot where he had just made the center guard, like, he had an idea on the draw weight, obviously, on the first one.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Just makes you wonder. And I don't know, again, with 3, I don't know if they have the time to discuss that either. It's one of those things where a lot of times you'll talk to your brushers and, well, how did you think I threw that? What is the time you get? And looking to bring this right down to that stone at the back of the 12. And he will sit right on the corner. Actually could have stood to curl a little bit more, but it is shot rock. It's on the corner. Sam can see all of it. The indication there from Dustin. Hit this right on the nose. You make both of them go away. Try to keep the shooter there. I think that hand gesture suggests Dustin was thinking about a little bit of up weight. It's not necessary to throw this harder. Just hit it right on the nose. Now, unless he's thinking they're more comfortable throwing the out turn here, and that could be. Because of where the guard is, if you're going to throw the out turn, you pretty much got to put the broom inside the rock. Well, they're throwing the in. Makes the hit, does get it right on the nose. Uses both those stones at the back, and his shooter stays there for shot rock. Fully open. Looks like the same call here. If he ends up with the same line, he should be dead frozen on this one. Having to go a little bit just to hold the line. He will come down, just crosses it a hair, taps it back about a foot. Morozumi sitting 1. There's room to pick it out. Could hit this one a little off nose, maybe 3/4, and try to keep the shooter, roll it towards the center line a bit. Looks like they're playing the straight pick. I thought they might just try to double those off and roll away just to not give them this same freeze opportunity for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, so he's going to change it up.
Got the freeze opportunity for the 3rd time in a row, and he's going to play the other shot. No. Well, he's still going to play the other shot, just going to play it from the other side. This surprises me a little bit. Third's last stone, it wouldn't shock me, but this is still Third's first stone.
Yeah, you don't usually want to rush the play to the center when you can avoid it in this situation. Dustin seems to be quite happy to whack whatever you throw over there, so just try to make it a little bit better.
Yeah, if you make one more freeze a little bit better and he has to blast everything out, well, then at least the blank's in play again.
Yeah. This one's going to go out the other side.
Yeah, they can't really brush it or it'll come out in the open. Bites a piece of the 4-foot. It is a little more than half open, I think.
Yeah.
They were on the brush early, but now looking like it needs to curl. Makes the hit, comes across, and does sit at the edge of the 8-foot. Actually probably makes this corner draw look a little bit more appealing again. Thought about it, gonna go back to the middle.
I think if you played this the shot before, it makes some sense to play it again. And nothing's really changed over there except they have 2 rocks now instead of 1. But
yeah, had it rolled just a hair further, it'd be kind of like a double wide target right there. It really, they're still overlapped enough. You're only freezing to 1, and you can probably still blast it out.
Yeah.
Boy, it wouldn't have had to roll much further though, and it's almost like a pocket over there. This one's going to be a little nicer.
Yeah. Very good.
Probably has to play the run back now. Skip stones to come here in the 5th end. Dustin Kalthoff making his way down to the hacks to throw his first. Morozumi sitting 1. Kalthoff looking for the run back. He's got 2nd and 3rd over on the side of the 8-foot.
Looks pretty good.
Close on the run.
Quite
greedy. Greedy would have been to ask to stick that, and it just rolls it out of play. The shooter off the center line by a couple of inches now. So Morozumi looking to come around it now. Now with it being that little bit off center line, I'm as much thinking out loud here as asking you, Jim, trying to decide myself. Do you really want to be dead buried here, or would you leave him a corner?
Yeah,
Because there's 2 reds over there to jam on if you make him play at the corner. It's a little off the line now. It's a thought anyway.
Yeah, I agree. You could certainly leave a quarter of a rock or something like that, or a third of a rock, and see if you can tempt them into going after it that way.
It's something the third's going to have to be aware of, right? Because if you're staying high up in the rings, you might be better off to leave a corner so that he has to risk jamming it, because high up in the rings, the run back's a little shorter. If you're by the tee line, you're probably going to want to dead bury it. So
I think you could flip back to the shot you played all along and play the intern freeze to the ones on the wings. And
you could. That red guard's almost in the way now.
Yeah,
so it didn't roll over.
Close, yeah. This one's got to curl a lot.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'd be tempted to stop sweeping before you put it behind the tee line. I don't know if you want it back that far.
No, I think you're right.
And that's one of those things, you get these teams so worried about trying to get a rock to curl, and sometimes they forget you're sweeping a rock, it's probably still going further.
Yeah.
I know there are some theories that you can make a rock slow down. I haven't seen it done yet.
No. Yeah, you're right. We've been hearing that a little bit the last year or two. I don't know that that's really the case.
Well, he's left Dustin Kalthoff room to follow that down if he could sit on the face. Morozumi's going to have to draw to the button for his single. This still has to be made. Can't afford to be strong here. If he's strong, probably doesn't get the line and could bump out into the open. It would be a shot for 2.
Yeah.
Looking nice coming in.
Good shot.
Right on the corner of that stone.
Yeah, pretty much perfect.
Nice. Left him the whole button to try to get his single.
Yeah, it's a pretty small zone to draw to here.
It is.
You have a little bit of backing maybe, but you better not count on it.
Well, if it curls that far, I mean, he's taken ice to get straight to split center, so there is the possibility if he's warm with this line that he doesn't ever get to the backing.
Yeah, and I know they probably don't throw it the same, but Dustin had probably a foot at least less than that for the shot he just threw, which sounds like about the right amount to the button versus over the button, past the button.
He's icing this for cold draw all the way.
Yeah.
Both brushes went down right away, but really not scrubbing it that hard yet. Just a clean. Line looks to be coming nice.
The weight's got to be close. That's a great shot. Wow.
Is that any good? Needs to bite the button. Almost circled it.
2 good shots by the skips there at the end.
Morozumi picks up his single point here in the 5th end. We're all tied up after 5. Dustin Kalthoff will have last rock again in the 6th.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Sixth end just underway. Shawn, Joyce, Jim Nix with you here from the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Men's Major. Curling Stadium, Beaumont. Semi-final action this afternoon. The final scheduled to start at 3. We were a little bit late here with the semi-final just because of an extra end game in the last draw. But if you stay with us, you'll catch all the action. Not much to choose between these two teams so far in this semifinal. Morozumi has had the hammer twice, has generated 1 blank and 2 singles. Maybe the only separating factor. Kalthoff with last rock has got the only deuce of the game. He's got last rock again here as we play in the 6th.
Yeah, and that deuce kind of came out of nowhere. That was didn't look like it was leading to that for most of the end.
No, true.
One poor shot, I guess, by the Japanese skip.
Yep. Come around attempt on the center guard comes to the back of the button and actually into the open on the other side.
Big end. 6th end's always a big end. If you're in a tie game like this, it's score here. It gives you a definite advantage leading to the last 2 ends. Even a score of 1, I think, is not too bad if you have to take it. .610 Totsak stole one in the 5th end in the other game to take a 5-3 lead over Trevor Bono, going into the 6th end, or they might be well into the 6th end, but in the 6th end either way.
Morozumi looked at just ignoring that stone at the back of the forefoot coming around. I don't know if you want to flirt with risking and giving up 2. You were just mentioning 1 point looks good for either team. If you get the point, you're in good shape. For Morozumi, a blank here in 6 isn't bad.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, Dustin Kalthoff with last rock in the even end is probably going to be a little bit more aggressive here. He's okay with scoring 1. He'll try to score his 2. So I don't know if you want to be ignoring a stone in the back of the forefoot. And this might have been something he got talked into from the other end. They're going to make a play on that stone. Hits, stays right there. Did I just say Dustin Kalthoff might play a little aggressively here?
Yeah. So he's going to go with the double corner.
Yeah. This is the 6th stone of the end. I mean, Morozumi could start peeling guards if he wanted to, but don't know if he'll play quite that defensively. Tough to make the double peel.
Yeah, judging by the fact he wasn't real excited about playing the hit on the last shot, I think he's probably not going to peel the...
Yeah, I expect he's coming around.
Yeah. Looks like a good shot, though. That's exactly where he wanted it. And as expected, Japanese guys are going to ignore it.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this will be I'm presuming that Dustin's going to make a play on the guard if they bury this. But how do you play it? Do you play it straight back, try to get the run back that way? Or do you play it off nose, try to catch that one at the quarter of the forefoot and roll to a corner on the other side?
Yeah.
Well, the come around's got to be made first. This is not looking like it's got a lot of weight.
No, gonna be short.
But it's an overlapped guard near center. Hard to ignore it. You could, I guess, if you wanted to play aggressive, come around it. He's thinking of the double peel. Nothing wrong with that call either. Really hard to ignore overlapped center guards with last rock. That's how you get in trouble. Sam will be looking to drive the first one across the face of the second one to get them both. He's not going to get it that way. Jams it. Does get it well off the center line anyway.
Yeah, it partially did the trick. At least he got it far enough that it's not on the center line at all. It's a little bit obstructing his draw if it comes down to that. But
true.
and come right around it.
Yeah, it still opens up a lot of room for Dustin Kalthoff to, if he wants to go back to playing aggressively, he's going to have the opportunity now. The middle's always going to be available.
Yeah.
Matsumura looking for the come around. Now this is a corner guard. He doesn't want to be at the tee line. Be a rock they could corner freeze to. He's pretty good there, I think.
Yeah.
Dead buried.
Looking at making that slash double. It's
tougher now. It's thin.
It is, yeah.
But there's no risk of, this is one where you try the straight back run back, and if you ever stick it, you're in all kinds of trouble. There's no chance of sticking it and leaving a guard up playing this. It's close. Well, he sticks it on the one in the rings, but there's no guard in play by doing it that way.
Yeah. That's always a little unfortunate when that happens. It's not easy to have that hit that enough that it wouldn't even kick out anywhere.
Boy, he's really quick to call the guard on the yellow, and there's a double on the two yellows.
Yeah.
It would be tempting here to just put a third one in the rings somewhere. You make this and they make the double, they're buried.
Yeah. You're not really set up to steal here, so I think it's you got to think about that a little bit and make better off trying to make sure you force here. It's going to end up where he wanted it. Doesn't
have to go after the double. Going to make a play at the hit and roll anyway. If he sits in front of it, that's not bad either. This is an out turn. So he's going to be throwing. He's playing for the double.
Yeah, so he's throwing heat again this time.
Yep.
He's not throwing it late. Close, real close.
Comes across, will kick the second yellow out the side.
So maybe a little learning lesson there for the Japanese skip when you put that rock out there.
Yeah, that was not a great time to throw the guard because now he's in danger of giving up 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're going to throw it there, you might as well go ahead and throw it to the top of the 12-foot. And if you want to do that, go ahead. But
well, I don't think I don't think you needed to bury that at all. You just throw it into curl past it, go into the 8-foot, kind of beside the ear on the guy in the house, and just let him make the double, and the shooter's wide open. You roll back to the open side. You've got a force.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like you said, it wasn't shaping up for a steal.
No. This team has made most of those kinds of shots today, though, when they played any of that, most of the run backs or doubles or anything like that. They made pretty much all of them.
Well, and the thing to consider is you knew he was going to play the double.
Yeah.
What were you guarding? I mean, you were guarding a shot he wasn't going after. So.
No, he was. Yeah, you're right.
And when he made it, he's actually buried.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not ever going to make it, then that's fine. But just can't plan on that. Especially when a guy can throw it with weight like that. In the freeze here.
Yeah, might have to move it a little bit to make sure he's got shot rock, but if you dead freeze it for now, that's not a bad result. Hard for Dustin to score 2 if you get the dead freeze.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Might move it just far enough. Well, I think he did.
He did, yeah. He shot rock, yeah.
So I'm wondering if they could just pick it. I mean, you can. It's tough. You lose your own stone at the back of the 4-foot, you're back to looking at a force.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think picking is difficult. Just the stagger is just not right for you.
Well, and I mean, even if you make it, if you pick it, make it absolutely perfect. He throws the same draw again. Now he sits on the face of that stone at the back of the 4-foot. You're no better off.
Yeah.
And that's assuming you pick it clean. If you lose your own stone, he gets a chance to come in behind cover, and it's either a force or a steal.
Yeah.
This is not an easy shot either. I'm not sure what else he's got, though.
So I think he's trying to hit this fairly thin and maybe bump the red one in.
Oh, okay. He's not playing the run back. They were talking about the run back at one point in time. It's risky. It's your.
Yeah, I may be wrong, Shawn. I just say they're.
No, your call actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So that might be what they're doing. I didn't see it. Try to hit about half of the yellow, have the shooter come across, touch the front edge of that corner guard, and if you could put it into the rings, sit second and third. That makes it really tough on Morozumi to just throw a straight guard again. Makes the peel, comes across, catches that stone, but just enough to kill it, rolls the shooter out of play. Okay, well, there's no point coming right in unless you're going to play it onto, because coming right in doesn't, you're still only sitting 1, unless you're going to play to move the red again.
Yeah.
Tap to the freeze, you'd be in a better spot, I guess, but you're still only sitting 1. It's a short run if he wants to kill the red. You got to keep 2 in the rings, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think you're straight guarding.
Yeah, I know. That's what
if you're not going to play this to sit 2, I'm not sure why you're coming in at all. He's looking at the tap to the freeze. You tap to the freeze, there's no chance he's making the double and getting more than 1.
Yeah.
The problem is if you just tap it to frozen, he's still not risking a deuce. Like, at least if you're sitting 2, you force him to make a decision.
Yeah. I think you got to get the angle right here, and you got to not move that red one too far. And like you say, unless you're tapping it to move it, but that's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, if you're tapping it to move it, I think you got to tap it to kill it. He's not doing that with that amount of ice.
No.
He's got to keep the same raise now, the same angle. Now, the nice thing about this, it's the exact same shot he just threw. If he can leave it on the same line, he should be okay.
Yeah.
You can't afford to leave any kind of shot at a double here. Morozumi, final stone of the 6th end without last rock. He is shot rock right now. Looking to tap it up to freeze on the red at the back of the 4-foot.
He's going to be really close to making this real good.
Over curling a hair, if any. No, he's pretty good. And his shooter takes away a little bit more of the room. Oh, I can't see any reason why you would play this.
He's just trying to pick that blast set out.
Yeah, you'd be trying to pick it clean, but if you ever go by the yellow one, you pick the red one, it's a steal of 2. If you rub the top yellow one, there's a chance you come by, click the red one, it's a steal of 2. You're never scoring more than 1.
I don't think you're picking. I don't know that you can pick this.
And if you don't pick it clean, you're still giving up 1.
Yeah.
Like, at least with the draw. And it's a tough draw. No, don't get me wrong. Tough draw to catch when he can see the button, but there's never any chance of giving up 2 playing the draw.
Yeah.
And there's never any chance of scoring more than 1 playing this pick.
He's going to make it, I think. Oh, a heck of a shot. I was wrong. I didn't think he could hold. I figured he had to move that like 4 or 5 inches, which would have been not good enough.
Makes the shot, gets the single. Still was risky. Does take a 1-point lead after 6 ends of play. Morozumi with last rock when we come back for the 7th.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Dustin Kalthoff with the single point in the 6th end as we begin play here in the 7th. He's got the 1-point lead. Morozumi with last rock. Well, we know Dustin Kalthoff's preference here would be to see somebody score a single point. He's either 2 up coming home or he's got last rock in that case. But for Morozumi, it's not as clear cut. We've seen some teams play these ends all out for a blank. He's throwing the corner guard, so I think he's thinking, let's score our 2 if we get a chance. Haven't had a deuce yet in the game.
Yeah, I think it's hard to start with the idea that you're going to blank it until you see how it shapes up a little bit, because it's it's tough, with that. Can't do anything about any rocks up front for a few shots.
Well, typically, if you're thinking blank from the start, you're coming around the center guard, and what you do with that is, yes, you keep your blank shot up alive, but you've completely let the other team off the hook. Like, they know already you're not going to try to score two.
Yeah.
Matt Ring continues to have trouble finding the weight with that second stone. He's been heavy on it. He's been light on it. I'm assuming, of course, that he's throwing them in the same order every time.
Yeah.
But he hasn't made his second shot at the end very often in this game. Nice come around there to the top of the button. Matt needs a nice freeze here. Those two red guards are side by each. This is the fifth stone of the end, so the double peel on the next one's pretty automatic.
Yeah.
And this one's going to be a little bit strong. Comes down, nudges off that yellow stone into the back of the 8-foot. Well, that might delay the double peel because Morozumi might want to get another one into the top of the 4-foot first.
Yeah, that's what he's called here. Basically right on top of the other one.
I think this has gone to an early plan B. This is still well out there. Trying to come to the back red now.
Yeah, he's way out there and he's really heavy.
Gives Sam Wills a chance to get one to the top of the 4-foot. Matt Ring close with the brush. Seems that he's waiting for the line, so weight should be close. Looks strong, though, as it comes into the picture.
Yeah, definitely a little bit heavy.
Well, I think that one had Matt surprised, too, because it really, the way he was cleaning it a little bit early, and the way he's up and down with his head just looked like he was waiting for the line call, and it just kept on sliding.
A lot of rocks in a small area for this early in the end, though.
Yeah. Whoever can get one to the top of that 4-foot first is in a really good spot here in the 7th end. Pressure's just cleaning. Got nicer line on this one. It's going to come down right to the face of his own.
It's a good shot.
Advantage Morozumi right now. Sitting 2. One on the button, one just in front of the button. There might be just a slight overlap on those red guards too. Certainly the one that's off the center line I don't think is available for a run back. You could try the other one. I don't know if there's a good result if you don't make it perfect though.
No, you don't have hammer here, but it's you know, the other thing is you could just run both, get rid of, play the double peel on the guards and make Morozumi put it back in the same place a couple of times if he decides to do that.
I don't think he would. I think he'd come around the corner. He's got last rock, right? If you peel the centers, he comes around the corner. You could double the two in the middle, but you're going to leave a double back, and it's a chance for 3.
So I'm going to overcurl a little bit, maybe.
Well, if it overcurls, it probably touches the side of the other red. No, it didn't. I thought they were close enough together it would redirect if he was off the nose. Enough to pick one of them over to the edge of the 12.
Yeah.
Looks to be far enough that Morozumi's shot and 3rd, but the one that they just moved back is 5th.
It's probably not counting that one. You probably write that one off now.
Oh, there's still angles to get that other little red biter out of there. It's just depends on whether or not the opportunities come up for either team to throw some weight here. This will change the shot for Matsumura. Looking to get onto the face of his own again, but now having to come through the port on what is the intern side for the lefty. Archer's once again cleaning this. Now coming from the offside, he's got to get off the corner guard yet. Just gets by. And I guess that's where he had to be because he ends up right on the corner of his own, and those two yellows lined up onto the red. And again, perhaps onto the red at the back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you still sure that yellow biter isn't coming into play?
I'm still 80%.
That's not quite as much as you sounded a minute ago. It's just because everything is lined up that way, and Dustin's got to make some kind of play on the yellows. What do you do here?
What do we got here?
He's looking at the port. The port's not easy.
No. The run back's terrible now unless you can...
Well, yeah, I mean, the yellow's going to jam on the red anyway. It doesn't matter what you do here.
It's playing a pick of some kind. Pick on the high one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you're thin enough on it, you might come across and catch the yellow out of the back of the 8-foot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind.
Maybe get 2 if you could that way. Got to get off the guard. Did. Actually caught the back one and came across and took out that little yellow biter off the side.
Man, that was a tough shot to throw the out turn at. I thought just the obviously prefers the out turn. He just play almost all out turns for him all day, but it just looked like that was a tough shot to be throwing an out turn at.
Yeah, if this was last rock, you've got the hit for 3 through the port. Problem with playing it now is you'd be behind the tee line. He's going to try that freeze one more time, looking for the exact same line this time from Matsumura that he had on his last one. It was tight to the outside guard the last time. Going to be tight to it again. Just gets by. He's making that shot look easy.
I was going to say that's 2 pretty good shots.
Yeah, lined it up to that red again. I'll tell you this much. Dustin can't play the out turn through the port at the top one again. If he's playing the out turn through the port, he's trying to get the back one, and even that is really tough. I think he's got to throw it in this time.
Yeah.
They're one of the options they're considering is a straight back run. Would you ever play the angle run? Because you get some drag then. You play the red as we're looking at the house, not the overhead. You play the one at about the 1 o'clock position on an angle coming in, and if you dead nutted it on the top yellow, you might clear the back one, or you might kill all 4 of the ones in the rings. You might drag it at least enough to get the inside edge of that red.
Yeah.
But it's a tough shot. If you don't get anything out of it, what have you left yourself?
Yeah, you haven't got much if you don't get more than.
Well, I'm not seeing that you get much off this run either.
No, I don't. No, I don't really love this shot. This one to me looks like you're going to end up with probably with a couple of yellows still counting, or 1-3 at best, or worst, with a chance for them to maybe sit 3 when they're done. Although you might, depending on where that hits, I suppose you might pick that yellow off the back of the 8-foot too. So there might just be 1 yellow in there when they're done.
Maybe.
It's a lot of mites and stuff though. So yeah, tough call.
He's going to play the run. I think what they must be thinking here, and of course you got to defer a little bit to the players at ice level because they can see the angles better. So what they're probably thinking is if you make contact with the yellow, it's going to come back, clip the red, but he might put the red onto the yellow and spill all 3 of the ones at the back and only leave 1 yellow in play. That's the only thing I can see here.
Yeah, and I think that's possible.
It may be. You'd hate to find out that that's not exactly the way they're lined up, though. There's also the possibility if you're just a shade off the nose on the center line side, it's yellow onto red and leaves 3 yellows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's in danger of hitting it the way I just talked about.
Oh.
And he did. And his shooter rolled to where I don't think there's a port to get at the one at the back of the 4-foot. Don't know if he can get to the inside of the one at the top of the 4-foot. Morozumi looking at playing the out turn draw around. I wonder if you don't have to play the in turn. Like right now, is Dustin's saver not the in turn draw to freeze the back one?
To the back 4-foot one?
To the back 4-foot one around the in turn? Like, I don't know that he's got anything at the on the out turn side right now.
No, he's probably got a tap back to leave you sitting 1. Maybe. I think he can throw enough weight to come around and get there. I just don't know if he'll roll.
Yeah, maybe.
If he rolls open at all, then that's no good for him. So,
mind you, if you come to the top of the 4-foot around the in turn side, that tap back is still only to leave you sitting 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it looks to me like the intern coming around, that would be the shot I'd be playing for this in this situation.
Yeah, and if only because I'm worried that like that's Dustin's saver, right? You play this side, there you can see it. Look at Dustin and Sam where they're standing. They're not looking at this shot at all. He's already eyeing up the intern draw on the other side.
Yeah.
He has made a couple of get out of jail shots already in this game.
Yeah, it looks quite tough on the long shot. On the overhead, it looks like, well, you could definitely get to you might even be able to get shot on that intern.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing here that really hurts you. Like, it's not like Dustin can't really do anything on this side, the side he's playing now.
Yeah, oh yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is you're not making anything more difficult on Justin. You're already set 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they realize that that's the shot he's going to play.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't hurt these guys to get a little bit of a bump just to...
Yeah, they might like to get to the inside too. This has got line for the inside because they were tight to the yellow guard on the 2 previous attempts.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. He left himself, a sliver of that rock and lots of room by the guard. So if Dustin was to make the in-turn draw now, he might have a shot to slash that in there.
They're not looking real hard at the in-turn draw yet either.
No.
So.
Well, right now I think they're looking at the run double to at least mean it's no worse than 3. I mean, 4 is the game for sure. Going back to it, though.
Yeah, and I would have expected that too, but just...
Yeah.
It didn't take a great shot, though.
Well, it is, and then Morozumi's going to have some kind of a slash. I mean, if he's right down to the face, he could actually play thin slash on the stone that's fully in the forefoot, try to kick it straight sideways into the yellow.
Yeah.
That might be easier than the top one if he's right on the face of the yellow. I think they're going to be playing it anyway. I don't think there's any chance they're shooting for 1.
No. I think you're right, Shawn. They didn't spend any time that I saw looking at the Japanese team. This is looking at this.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time, right? They had was it last end? They threw the guard and left the double.
Yeah.
They were guarding a stone that Dustin was never going to play on.
Yeah. Yeah, you needed to at least have a look at this over here, and you might have decided, no, I don't think he can do it, but at least look at it.
Well, whether he can do it or not, I don't know if you can afford to leave it. Like, he can take away, even if he gets second shot here.
Oh, yeah, second shot would be huge. Let's get a curl a little bit more. No,
He couldn't really get off the brush to let it curl, though. It was a little light as well.
Oh, yeah, I definitely had to keep going. I think yellow said 3 now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can get 4, though.
No, that's...
If you're right to the face of your own, if you're dead frozen right to the face of your own, you might be 3. But if you bump off at all, I don't think there's any chance. Even if you're dead frozen, I'm not sure you can have enough of the
Dead frozen, the one almost on the button or just off the button.
Yeah. So just missed the one at the top of the forefoot and dead freeze to the other one. As much to the face of it as you can get.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say from here, even then, if it would be. No harm in playing it. You've got 3 in the bank right now.
Yeah.
That's all you got. There's not even anything on the side anywhere that he could try to come off of to the back of the forefoot.
No.
They indicate a little bit that he might be able to just touch off the side of the one that he just threw, and you'll get a little bit of spin that way. It's just that other rock's still in the way.
Yeah, it's going to be
cold
really
draw. Do the best you can and see whether or not it's close enough to measure. Going to come to the one he just threw, and I don't think anywhere near thin enough to try to spin.
No.
He'll just tap it up to the top of the button, but put 3 points on the board for Yusuke Morozumi here in the 7th end. He'll take a 2-point lead, 5-3 over Dustin Kalthoff into the 8th. Kalthoff will have last rock coming home.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. when I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Shawn, Joyce, Jim Nix with you here. Semi-final action. 8th end. Not going to say 8th and final end because we can't rule out the possibility of an extra here.
Oh, definitely not. Definite possibility of an extra in.
Yeah, that's been a heck of a game. Dustin Kalthoff trailing by 2 as we're coming home, but he does have last rock. Morozumi called for the first one into the rings. The corner guard goes up, and now Masaki Iwa looking to come around the stone at the top of the 8-foot. Won't be looking for any guards here. You might see Kalthoff throw a second corner. And then, if he's got 2 good stones in the middle in the rings, you might see Morozumi throw a center guard after that. Those aren't lined up perfectly, though. I'm not sure he'll throw a center guard on those.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going to find out in about 30 seconds. First of all, Matt Reng is throwing the corner guard to the other side. This is just one of those, it's a cat and mouse situation, really, right? Dustin Kalthoff trying to score 2 here. Morozumi throws a couple into the center in the rings, knowing full well that Kalthoff's going to throw center or corner guards. Now, and it looks like even with those 2 off set a little bit, he is going to throw the center. And you're throwing these 3 rocks in the middle because you know that sooner or later, Dustin has to deal with them. You know he's not going to do it right away, but he's going to have to deal with them. And when he does, maybe he leaves you a chance for a double to get out of the end. So, you know, both teams trying to keep the other busy. Dustin throws the 2 corner guards. He knows that as soon as Morozumi gets the chance, he's going to start dealing with those, but he can't get rid of both of them at once. So it's that little bit of a game of cat and mouse. They're going to have to keep this going if it's going to get much cover on the yellows at all. Boy, good job from the brushers. That did not look like it was going to come that far. Covers the shot rock, the second shot stone, probably 3/4 open. Be shocked if Dustin didn't make a play on it, but you don't have to play this with a ton of weight. You're just looking to move. If you get those 2 yellow stones behind the tee line, you're golden here.
Yeah.
If you could ever get to it with well, it looks like he's playing the big hit and roll with so bumper weight. Boy, if you could ever get to the nose with even just hack, just enough to clip them both, to both be behind the tee line. If you were really greedy, you'd roll one of them behind the tee line and behind one of the corner guards. Call was for bumper. You could keep one of them in the rings even with bumper.
Yeah, probably will be.
He's going to be close to what I called, actually. This is not... Well, I guess he does have bumper weight. He's going to kill one of them. More importantly, keeps his shooter in the rings. That means Morozumi has to deal with it. Doesn't have a chance yet to deal with the corner guards. This is why you'll hear so many guys talk about the weight control in this situation. for Dustin Kalthoff. Important to keep the shooter around. The longer he can keep Morozumi from doing anything with those corner guards, the better his chance is to at least score 2. And really, he's still got 2 corner guards. 3 is a possibility. With that stone rolling over to where it is, it basically is another corner guard. Dustin's looking at playing the hit and roll in behind the corner. You could ignore this stone and just draw too.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he's hitting this one. I would have thought maybe draw around something. Made it good though.
Made it good, and through that nice control, quiet weight. That's very important that that you keep the shooter. Even had he hit it right on the nose, as long as you keep the shooter, that means that Morozumi's got to make a play on it. Now with the good roll, he's got a little bit of pressure on Yusuke. He can maybe see enough to pick the red out, but risky. Looking at playing the corner guard, and I think this is straight peel. Matsumura, well, I think the call was for the straight peel. He hit it fairly thick, does get the guard, leaves his shooter in play, and now the center guard's overlapped again. Dustin thinking about coming around the corner. The problem with coming around the corner is you might see Morozumi switch gears here, come around the staggered center, and then you have to start cleaning things up. If you get there first, you're certainly still going to have a chance for your 2, it looks like.
Draw behind the corner would have been tough too.
That's true. The yellow guards are kind of in your way.
Yeah. It's a good shot. And peek out the other side.
Well, I thought we might see Morozumi look at following that down, and I think maybe Matsumura was thinking the same thing. You play the short run on the side. Dustin's coming around the middle again. Doesn't matter where you roll. And if he makes it, he's going to have a shot for 3.
Yeah.
You can come right around the red. I don't even mind freezing to the red for now.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
It cuts out the one on the side, same as if you make this short little runner, and Dustin's coming around the middle again anyway. Well, I think this was the shot that Matsumura wanted to play, and he's getting his way.
Yeah.
And I think it's the right call too. What I'm not sure, just from the way they called this, is are they looking to corner freeze the red or come behind it? There is plenty of room the way this curls to come behind that red, be shot rock in front of the tee line.
Yeah, it looked like the third was kind of tapping the center line, or not center line, tee line, that kind of versus the top.
got plenty of room by the guards. It's the rock in the top of the 8-foot you have to watch. And starting to curl now, they're going to have to go to get it by that stone at the top of the 8-foot, I believe.
Whoa.
And just got by. I'm not sure how it didn't go through that rock, but
that's a great shot. I didn't think he was by. I thought
I know.
he was on it.
Comes around a stone fully in the top of the 8-foot, and he's 3/4 buried on it at the edge of the button.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. And now not a lot of rings for Dustin Kalthoff to work with. Now, he doesn't need to worry about moving it here just yet. But if all you made was a freeze, well, it looks like he's playing the double off the one on the side. Probably the best result if you make it.
I'm sure he'll be close. They've been close on all these all day. He's got her. And the roll probably doesn't hurt him either.
No, yeah, he got it over the top enough to get out of that 4-foot area. Now I think Morozumi has to freeze to the top one to take away the other 2 reds.
Yeah, start to try to make sure you don't give up more than 2.
Yeah. Skip stones here now in the 8th end. Morozumi facing 3 without last rock, looking for the freeze on the stone at the top 8-foot. Kalthoff would still be shot, but he would eliminate those other 2 red rocks, and not enough stones left to come to bring them back into play. Brusher's got both brushes down right away. They might think this is a little light. He's got to get a piece of the 8-foot here to make sure he's second shot. Well, I don't think he's anywhere close.
Yeah, that was not good.
No. But now, what's a good shot for Dustin Kalthoff? There is room to come to that red stone on the outturn side, so I'm not sure that a stone, they were looking for one just to block that path on the intern. I'm not sure that helps you. I think you got to be full 8 here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right beside your other stone might be the best place for it, right?
Yeah.
They're tapping the ice short of that, but there's room on that outturn side to still get to the face of that red stone.
Yeah, just sit on it and make a straw for 2. Yeah.
If you get it right beside the red stone, that doesn't help Morozumi to sit on the face of it anymore. He'll be facing 2 already and a chance to draw for 3. If you're right beside your own stone, you might have to try to go wide and right around everything. Is that maybe the only thing he'd have left?
Well, second end in a row, we've seen the team without hammer get into a lot of trouble.
Well, it was that outstanding double by Sam Wills coming across the top of the second stone, spinning over to the edge of the 12-foot. So not only was he sitting 3 in the rings, but no doubles available.
Yeah, that's right.
That was the big key here. Flip the script on this end in a hurry.
Yeah, actually, if he'd made the double and just stuck it right there.
Yeah, he'd frozen to it.
Yeah, the Japanese team would have had maybe a little bit more to work with, but it rolled it off to the right, and it was a even better situation.
Well, And still hung it around, too. I mean, if it rolls all the way
Yeah.
out, they hit the open one and it's still only sitting 2 or playing for 2. By hanging it on, it definitely brought the 3 into play.
Yeah. Well, they might have got what you were suggesting, Shawn, despite themselves.
Yeah, it might be deeper than what they had in mind, but I think that's where they needed to put it.
Yeah.
What does Morozumi have now? He's going to have to go wide around everything, doesn't he?
Got everything, I think, yeah.
Try to come to the back of the forefoot. Not an easy shot, and if you make it, there's still probably a way to get to it. That's where I think it might be easier to play the hit and the 6-foot roll to get back there. I
Can't see that being easier.
I don't know about that being easier.
And not only that, you make it there and you're going to be further back than maybe you want to be, too. Neither one are easy, so this is probably the right shot, I think. I don't see much else.
Yusuke Morozumi with his final stone here, facing 4, looking to come around 2 stones, top of the 8-foot. Needs a bite of the back 4 to be shot. Needs to be at least second shot.
It must not be heavy.
Well, they're trying to make it curl, and by the time they're done, it might be heavy. Yeah, I've never been a fan of that, trying to make it curl so hard that you sweep it right through, and Dustin Kalthoff doesn't have to throw his final stone. He's already sitting 3. So Dustin Kalthoff, with 3 points here in the 8th end, picks up the 6-5 win. That'll move him through to the final. We've got an all-C event qualifier final, so they will have to draw the button for last rock. I want to thank you, myself, Shawn, Joyce, and my partner today, Jim Nix. We've had an outstanding semifinal, a lot of action. We expect a great final as well. Thank you for joining us here on the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Men's Major. Just the finals left to come, scheduled for right now. We're going to be a few minutes behind, but stay with us. We'll have all the action in that final. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the final.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.